very
Can
professional.
I have a beer when you do this?
Not from my side. Oh, he's pretty.
So, do you know what I'm asking you about?
You're gonna ask me some questions about my past history.
Yes. So,
You have my permission also.
so you told me a long time ago that you saved somebody at an event.
You're right.
Like, where were you at? What event was this?
Fort Worth, Texas, at a National Cutting Horse Association horse show.
So, what is cutting horses?
It's specialized training of a horse. They use them on ranches to go in and separate one cow out from a herd of cattle that needed to be doctored or whatever, and it became a sport, and they made an association in 1946, the same year I was born, and started the yearly competition.
Did you go to that certain event a lot? Like, were you
Oh, yeah.
there every year?
No, I didn't, that's in Fort Worth, no, I was not there every year.
Okay. So, now we're gonna go into some questions about more of your, just like your education. So why did you become a doctor in the first place?
I wanted to take care of people. I had compassion for people that were sick. I went through pharmacy school first for 5 years, and I found out being a pharmacist was, I knew more than I was utilizing
Yeah.
every day, counting and pouring at that time.
So what type of doctor were you?
I practiced anesthesiology.
Okay. And so have you been passionate about like helping people all your life? Say?
Well, since I got out of medical school, yeah.
Okay. So now I'm gonna ask more about the event. So what happened that day?
Well, there were, Will Rogers Arena is where the competition was taking place. I was in another building about maybe 2 blocks from the Will Rogers, and I was practicing on my horse. And I got done working, and the lady running it, her name was Debbie Patterson, and she says, "Did you hear what happened to Tim Berry?" And she said, "Well, he died and he fell out of his saddle when he was working the cow." I said, "Tim Berry?" I says, "I know him." So I gave my horse rein to someone to take care of my horse. I ran over to the arena about 2 blocks with my cowboy boots and my spurs on. So you obviously can't run very fast with spurs. So I got in the building, and it's several different layers. You gotta go up the stairs and then over a railing. And I saw probably 10 people out in the middle of the arena. And there was a person laying on the ground. So I jumped over the railing, went screaming down there, and I says, "What happened?" He says, "This man fell off of his horse and they were doing CPR on it." So there was a lady and a man, they were doing chest compressions, and there was another person trying to ventilate, breathe for him through a mask. And I came down and I said, "I'm an anesthesiologist, can I help?" He says, "Yeah, why don't you take over the breathing assisted breathing for the person on the floor." And then I realized that it was Tim Berry, a fellow cutter that I knew, and his daughter, Kara Brewer, and his son, Colton, were right there by his feet. And they had called the rescue squad, and it took them 45 minutes to get there. And it was weird because the ambulance came to one location and the fire truck came to another location. So when it finally got there, they brought the backboard in and put him on there, and they were able to put him on the automatic thump, is what they call it. So it's a machine that compresses the chest and indirectly compresses the heart. So I stayed with him. I tried to intubate him, meaning I took a laryngoscope, put it in the back of his throat, and tried to visualize his vocal cords, and there was blood down there, so I couldn't see anything. So we gave up on that. I continued to go with him when they carried him out of the arena and up this narrow door down by the bucking chutes where they have rodeos in Will Roger.
So you said you were on your horse in like another building
Yeah.
at the time of when it
2
happened?
blocks away, yeah.
Okay. And what was going through your mind when like you just saw him on the floor? And, like,
Well, it says I have to do something.
okay, that's good. So,
Go ahead.
So how is he today?
I'm sorry?
How is he today?
As far as I know, last time I talked to him, he's healthy, well. He has a loss of memory from what happened. He couldn't remember for a while. And he doesn't remember that day at all.
So have you had contact with him at all?
Yeah, I talked to him maybe 2-3 years ago. He came to American Royal here in Kansas City.
And is that another horse cutting?
Yeah, he's another competitor. I don't know if he shows anymore after this happened.
Do you feel accomplished after you did that?
Oh yeah.
You did? Feel good the next day?
Well, I did at that time when I had done what I could do with the equipment I had.
Yeah.
I left my good Stetson hat out in the arena. So we finally got him to the east side of the arena. We had to take him probably another block down to where the ambulance was, and the fire truck was sitting right by us.
Yeah.
And at the north end of the arena, there's a security fence, and they have like a turnstile where a person can walk through. So the only way we could get him through that narrow opening was to turn the board like that and take it through sideways, okay? And we finally got through that, and the ambulance was there, and I was still breathing for him, or attempting to. And then the personnel
Flip over.
from the ambulance took over, yeah.
And then, so have you done anything else like that? Anything else?
Well, I have resuscitated, been part of resuscitation in the hospital, at my work, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, not,
So you haven't done anything like at an event like you did there? Nothing?
I have not done that. I did assist up with another person in Nebraska, but I came late and there were already personnel on the scene, so.
And so why do you think that you did like this type of thing? Were you like you just want to save people mostly?
Well, we take an oath when we graduate from medical school that that's what we do, is help out people that need our help with the experience that I had. And I knew, I have seen what medical availability they have in that building, and I was always disappointed in it. So I knew I could be an assistance, but I didn't have the proper equipment to really help him out. So.
Do you consider this one of your biggest accomplishments?
wow.
I think so, yeah.
And then if this moment happened again, would you have done the exact same thing that you did?
Well, probably I'd respond to the situation wherever it's at with thinking of safety for myself and others. If there's somebody helping them already, then I hope it's safe for them, so I would assist.
Has this moment changed you in any way? think?
Well, I think it has. To add to that, I think I became a better person, and I called my brother after this happened, and I'll explain a little bit. In California, and I told him what had happened, and I says, I just think I saw a miracle happen. And I think I was part of that miracle. Now at the time, we only knew that the man had made it to the hospital. They were doing CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, when they arrived at the hospital. They ended up taking him, they didn't go to surgery right away, but after 45 minutes, another hour of resuscitation, the man opened his eyes. So there was some brain activity still going on, and most people suffer brain damage from lack of oxygen. And subsequently they put a cardiac pacemaker in him to pace his heart, and he was released from the hospital like 2 days later. And I don't know if he went back to the arena, but secondary to that, on my way home from Fort Worth, driving my pickup with my horse trailer, with my horse in the back, north of Oklahoma City, driving northbound, there was, I could see smoke in the distance to the north of where I was traveling, and I finally got closer and closer and realized that the traffic in the regular lane had slowed down. I was in the passing lane. And finally came upon the scene. I couldn't get off to the south of where the truck was. There was a pickup that the engine was on fire.
Yeah.
So the hood was raised, the engine was on fire, and out in into the ditch, there was a man sitting out there or lying down or whatever, and he appeared to be having difficulty breathing. So I parked my pickup, ran out there, and I asked what was going on with the people. There was a motorhome behind his pickup and his horse trailer, and they said the man's truck started on fire. He got out, tried to put it out, and got exhausted, and then he went out and kind of collapsed on the side of the road. So his daughter, the man's daughter, and the man's wife were in the motor home, and I went out, talked to him. I says, "Can I help?" He says, "Yeah, go take care of my husband, or go take care of my father." So I went out, assisted him, helped him with his breathing, and then finally a rescue squad came. And they assessed him, gave him extra oxygen, and then I went to the motorhome and told him who I was and what I was doing. And I said, "I think your husband and or father is going to be fine."
Yeah.
So I gave him my business card. I said I'd like to follow up on his health, how he's doing, and whatever. They were from Georgia, and they had been to a reining horse competition in Oklahoma City. And their competition was over. They were headed back home southbound.
So this was on your way home from the...
This was on the way home, but the other people, they were northbound, but they had their truck overheated going southbound, so they got off the first exit, came back and started going northbound back towards Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
That's when the truck started on fire.
Ah.
So, after both of those happening within about a 4-hour time period, I was so wound up, and I was crying on the way driving home, and I said, I need to call my brother. So
Yeah.
I called Rich up, California, and I said, I want to tell you what just happened to me. And I said, to start off, I says, I think I've just witnessed a miracle happen. Before I had left, Fort Worth, Texas, someone had told me that Tim Berry had opened his eyes and they thought he was still alive at that time. So I felt good that I'd done my part to help him out. So after those two things happened in about 4-hour time period, I was I was so wound up, and that's when I called my brother and I says, I think I witnessed a miracle today, and I think I was part of it.
So now, my final question is, do you have anything else that you want to say or that you maybe left out?
Well, I think God was with me that day, and with the other people helping. If the man had been out riding on his own or something and nobody else had been around, this would have happened. He probably would have died in that location. And like I said, I think I was part of a miracle that day, and that really brought new meaning to taking care of people and responding that way.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
All right.